Hi everybody, it's Alex, and I am back with some more math. Now, last time we talked about what multiplication was, and we went through a few quick examples of how to use multiplication and how to do multiplication. Now, I thought it would be a good idea to go back and kind of make a video of just examples going through a few different multiplication problems to kind of make sure we're on the same page. Before we get too far, I'll do a quick review of what we learned last time with our first problem, which we'll keep really simple with 2 times 2. With this, we're looking at adding 2 groups of 2 together. So we'll write that out. We have our first group of 2 plus our second group of 2. So we have 2 2's being added together. When you add them together, you get 4. Now that is a very basic review of what we went over last time. So let's do a couple more. We'll go ahead and move on to problem number 2. And let's do something a little bigger this time. We'll do 4 times 6. Just like we did above, we're going to be looking for 4 groups of 6. And that's kind of how you break down what this side of the equation means. It's groups of numbers. So 4 groups of 6 is going to look like this. We have our first 6 plus our second 6 plus our third 6 and our fourth 6. And when we add these together, we get 6 plus 6 gives us 12. 12 plus 6 gives us 18. And 18 plus 6 gives us 24. So we now know that 4 times 6 is 24, and that 4 times 6 is also 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, which equals 24. Alright, let's do another one. Then we'll move on to looking at this in a different format. So for our final one of doing it sideways, we'll look at some big numbers. We'll do 7 times 8. Just like what we had up here, we're going to be looking for 7 groups of 8 added together. So we'll have our first 8, second 8, third 8, fourth 8, fifth 8, sixth 8, and finally our seventh 8. So when we get to the addition on this, we have 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 8 is 24. 24 plus 8 is 32. 32 plus 8 is 40. 40 plus 8 is 48. 48 plus 8 is 56. Now, I hope you guys have caught on to this, but I'll say it one more time just to be clear. Effectively, what we're doing here is we're just counting by a bigger number. Usually, when you think about counting, a lot of people will start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, you're just counting by 1. If you wanted to count by 2's instead of 1, you'd start like we did here. You have your first 2, and then you add 2 to that, so that gives you 4. And then you add 2 again, and that gives you 6. And you add 2 again, and that gives you 8. And you can keep, just like you can keep adding 1's to 1, 2, 3, 4 to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, You can keep adding 2's here to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And you can count by 6's or anything else that you'd like to. So here we already did 4 times 6, and that'll be the same thing that we did here. 6, then 12, then 18, and then 24. If we wanted to keep on going, we'd go on to 30, 36, 42, and however much further we wanted to go. So now that we've kind of got an idea of what we're doing, we can realize that this is just one way of writing it out. So far, all of the math that we've done has been kind of in a left to right writing style. Now that I think we've got a handle on this, let's look at just moving the numbers around and looking at how you can write this equation in a different way. So we'll do 4 times 6 again, but this time, instead of doing it left to right, we'll do it top down. So we'll have 4, our first number, times, that's our little multiplication symbol, and then we'll put the 6 down here on the bottom, and this line will be our equal symbol. So doing it this way, it's the same math. We're looking for 4 groups of 6 added together, but you can write out the math for our first 6 plus our second 6 plus our third 6 plus our fourth 6. So I'll count those real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. It shows we have 4 6's together. You can have 6 plus 6 is 12, 12 plus 6 is 18, and 18 plus 6 is 24. You'll realize this is the same math that we did up here in number 2. It's just written out a little differently. So we can say that 4 times 6 is 24 for both of them. You can write this out either way, but the reason why we like to write it out top down is when you get to bigger numbers, generally anything 10 or above, there's a trick that you can do when writing it like this that makes doing math with bigger numbers a lot easier. And we'll get to that probably in a later video. For now, let's do another one. So this will be our 5th example. We'll just do another one set up like this so that we can just get a little extra repetition in there. This time we'll do 3 times 9. So we're having 3 groups of 9. We'll do this quickly. 9 plus our second 9 plus our third 9. You don't have to write out the numbers over on the sides like we've been doing. So I'll leave that out this time. We have 3 9's, and we're ready to do our math. 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 plus 9 is 27. So 3 times 9 is 27. I think we have time for one more, so we'll make it a good one. Number 6. We're going to look at 2 at once to show a cool thing about multiplication. We'll look at 3 times 4, and we'll look at 4 times 3. We'll do these together. So the question between the two before we start is, are these the same? They have the same numbers, they're just in different places. Does it matter the order that they're in? Does one going to be bigger than the other? Vice versa? Let's find out. So first we'll do our 3 times 4. We'll do that work right over here. So we're looking for 3 groups of 4. So we're going to have 4, this will be our first 4, plus our second 4, plus our third 4. We can say 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. So we know that 3 times 4 is 12. Now let's look at 4 times 3. We'll do that work right over here. So this time, instead of 3 groups of 4, we're going to be doing 4 groups of 3. So let's write that out. We have our first 3. Go ahead and put a 1 by him, plus our second 3. Put a 2 by him. Our third 3. And finally, our fourth 3. And we can do the addition on that. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. And 9 plus 3 is 12. So 4 times 3 is 12. We can see here that it doesn't matter which order we do the multiplication in. In both cases, you're going to get the same answer. And that's the same for any set of numbers that are being multiplied together. It doesn't matter if you count it as 3 groups of 4, 4 groups of 3, if we did 3 groups of 9 or 9 groups of 3, so on and so forth. You can have those numbers any way that you want, whichever way is easier, which is kind of why I chose to do 3 times 9 instead of 9 times 3. I only had to write out 9 plus 9 plus 9 instead of 3 plus 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 3. A lot easier and a lot shorter to do it this way. But that is getting close to all the time that we have for today. So I wanted to leave you guys with a few to try on your own. We have 12 times 1, 4 times 7, 8 times 3. Those are all left to right style. And then we have 9 times 6, 7 times... we'll get to multiplying by 8 by 0 later. So let's have this be 7 times 5. And then finally we have 8 times 8. You go ahead and give these a shot on your own, and I will make a follow-up video where we solve all of these. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to doing more math with you. Hope you have a great day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.